you gotta. That's what I'm saying. That's the thing about Triple H's bookings. Like you have to be patient. Like you have no choice. This man will drag. Like you see what he's doing with the Final Testament and the New Day. Like I legitimately, when that music played for the Final Testament to come out after Odyssey Jones squashed Vincent Winey on Raw, I legit groaned. I was like, "Oh my God, we're still here."
Yeah.
Like, why are we still here?
But I was telling y'all about that because I called that from jump. Remember, even when people wasn't even caring about Cross, and I know they still don't, but I'm saying, like, when I was saying, I was like, yeah, he keeps, I kept telling y'all, you got to watch those backstage interviews that a lot of people don't really watch like that. He was saying a lot of these things, and now it just got more public on television, but like you said, the problem is Triple H keeps dragging it. And it's like, bro, just get to the point.
But we was definitely talking about New Day and Odyssey Jones. But yeah, it's looking like we're going that route.
I got
It's
a
looking
theory though.
like-
I'm gonna share a side theory on that. Now Stephanie Hypes shared this on Twitter. However, I had this thought actually before I saw her tweets, so I'll chalk it up as we both have this theory. But many expect Xavier Woods to go heel, but what if it's actually Kofi because of the Heat Jones? What if Kofi's the one to actually do the unthinkable and become a heel veteran type who's mentoring a guy like Odyssey Jones, who's obviously the heavy, because we know Kofi's not the biggest guy in the world. But of course, what if it kind of catapults him as the veteran to be like, hey, truth be told, y'all been dragging me down anyway. I've been trying to get back to the title that I shouldn't have lost in 5 seconds. Or something. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? What if Kofi's like, I'm tired of, I've been here for X amount of years. People think my time's up, but you know what? Nah, man, bump that. I got somebody that actually wants to listen to my mentorship. Somebody that I can groom to turn into a future world heavyweight champion. But before we get there, I got unfinished business to get what I shouldn't have never lost to begin with. What if? What if Kofi's the guy to go heel? Hey, I'm just saying.
You know what? Stephanie Hypes, Mr. Highlight Reel. Y'all motherfuckers are spit.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Y'all are spit. Y'all are spit. Because it's too predictable for Woods to do. They're making it obvious. They can literally, they can legitimately spin it to where Kofi is like, you give me these side eyes, I watch the show back. You giving ungrateful right now. Because if it wasn't for me, you and Big E would have been fired a long time ago.
Ooh, come on now. Ooh.
If it wasn't for me, Big E wouldn't have been Mr. Money in the Bank, and you wouldn't have been King of the Ring.
Ooh, come on.
Like that's what I'm saying. I'm like, now that y'all put that in my head, that makes that.
I'm just
would
saying.
actually be interesting. It will require Kofi to change the style up though, because I wouldn't want to see the same old moveset from heel Kofi. But I feel
that's
like
why I'm like, I think he could, because at first when I had this theory, I was like, Kofi's kind of on par with Rey Mysterio. He's such a natural babyface, but he has been heel before, even though it was with the New Day in their early stages. But it's like he could pull it off in a way a lot of people may not expect, man. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't be shocked. I would be open to seeing what a true heel Kofi could do, especially, again, playing off that classic trope. Like, yeah, he's not the biggest guy, but he's got this big son of a gun right here having his back. Kind of like what we see with Mercedes and Camille right now. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
And then he could be like, you're right, Carrion. We're not trying to replace Kofi Xavier with the New Day. I'm going to kill it.
Come on.
Because it's been holding me down for the past 10 years. So thank you, Carrion, for showing me the light.
Yeah. And if you think about it, we've seen, that's why I don't, I get that people feel the way they feel about Carrion, There's a different. It's a different conversation for a different day. But as far as what his character's doing verbally when he's exposing the things he exposes,
his character makes sense.
It makes sense, right? And the thing about it is, you see it in movies. Think about like Scream or different things. Like think about how think about some of these movies where they paint one person to be the villain and make it seem like that person's been the villain. When in the actual whole time, it was the one you wouldn't have expected. Which is, like I said, Scream. When you think about the original Scream, a lot of you ninjas watching that original Scream didn't think that Billy and I forget his name right now, but you know, his homeboy, y'all didn't really think they would be the killers out of everybody. But the fact that they were able to twist that and get everybody, even in watching that, you still go back and say, dang, yo, that's crazy that y'all ended up being the killers at the end of this movie. For Kofi to flip the narrative and actually prove Karrion Kross right and rub it in his face to where Karrion is not necessarily a baby face because of it, but just one of those, I told you so.
He's basically, what was his name? What was his name? The guy who was pretty much the devil's advocate with Roddy Piper, Sean O'Hare.
Yes, exactly. I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. Exactly.
He's basically that character. That's the character they're going with. And I'm not gonna lie to you. The only thing with Karrion that's my problem is his finisher.
Yeah.
Right now, I've grown to not detest him like I did a couple of months ago.
That's fair.
It's more so like I'm just laid back. Like one thing about me, I don't detest anybody. If I'm not rocking with you, I'm just not going to acknowledge it. But Karrion, his character is making sense. It's like it's making sense. When you take away the fact that Triple H drags this stuff way longer than he should, you can kind of understand the character of it. And then when they finally pull that trigger, please just pull the trigger.
Low key, and I'm gonna be honest, somebody like Karrion Kross could have been helpful in this Drew McIntyre CM Punk feud with how he acts. You know, he could have been the guy to paint out the real villain in that narrative instead of allowing people to kind of choose it. He could have been pointing, like everything that Drew's been saying about a Punk, he could have been the guy saying that. Like, yeah, you come back after so many years of being away, but you're trying to make yourself look like a hero when you forget the fact you straight up left this company. You know, or saying, you know,
and dragged it through the dirt for well over 10 years.
Exactly. Like, there's some things that, like, this version of Karrion Kross, it may not be Killer Kross that everybody remembers and likes, but if you really pay attention to the character side of what he's trying to do with it, it makes so much sense that I'm looking forward to seeing who else he does this to, because it does help with the story. It's like a ripple in the multiverse kind of thing in the WWE universe. He's like purposely, you know, changing the game with his narrative of words that'll make you sit there and think, you know what, sir? You just might be right. I got to pay attention to this now. You know, we just need Triple H not to drag it so much.
I think that'd be my only problem with a lot of his stories is he drags way. Like, it's a lot of times where it's like, bro, I understand long-term booking. I love me some long-term storytelling. Trust me. I survived the 22 episode era of the CW when I was in my teenage years. I know long-term storytelling.
Yes.
Trust me. I know. But some stuff you need to get that instant gratification.
Agreed, bro.
So hopefully as he's getting settled into this Booker role that he's in now, he gets the instant gratification part on lock. Like some stories, the main stories, like the main event stories, I don't mind you having layers on layers, but when it's like a mid card or like a tag team feud, instant gratification is fine. I promise. I'm certain.
When the club go around here, I'm a cactus. Bang, bang, gang, I don't owe you jack. When I'm in the ring, it's just me and my best friends. OC cutting no slack. Hollywood Miz, you can put me on the A-list. Gresh Unleashed, better put it on your playlist. Me and my fam be ballin' like the Bruce. Fight night, baby, hard hitting like Sheamus. Family first, yes, bloodline business. Winning all the gold, look at how they witness.